Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly dark and mysterious. We're going on a journey behind the scenes of the antique book markets in Tunisia, exactly as they're depicted in Sofiane Rajab's fascinating novel, The Reader of Najd al-Dabaghin.
Now, I want you to consider a pretty compelling question. Is it possible that the absolute greatest novels we read, the ones we cherish most, are literally just the work of unknown ghosts? I know, it sounds crazy, right? But it's not just a fantasy. It is actually the core of the deception we're unpacking today.
So, to untangle this massive web, here's our roadmap. First, we'll look at the cultural facade versus the underworld. Then, we'll check out the map of secrets in Baba Jaber's building, open up the suspect records, dive into the shock industry, witness the carnival of falling masks, and finally ask ourselves, are we living a literary illusion?
All right, let's jump straight into part one. Cultural facade or underworld. Time to leave the safety of the surface.
You can really see the stark contrast here. On the surface, you've got this beautiful, nostalgic old book market that's just full of people seeking knowledge. But hidden away in the dark, there's this secret theater of masks. The Street of Old Books isn't just some innocent place for reading, it's practically a factory for rewriting a very dark reality.
Which brings us to part two, the map of secrets in Baba Jaber's building.
What's truly fascinating about this setup is the architectural divide. Down below, you've got the perfectly safe sidewalk and your standard bookstore. But if you walk up that dark, damp staircase, which is essentially the dividing line between reality and illusion, you reach the highly secretive Blue Room. And this right here is the actual headquarters of the League of Ghostwriters. Moving right along to part three, records of suspects. Let's open up the case files.
We really need to uncover the hidden truth behind each of these social masks. First, there's Al-Nouri. He seems like a simple, everyday bookseller, but he's actually a puppet master, slowly descending into madness. Then you have Layla, the one who inadvertently stumbles upon the whole tragedy. And finally, the ghost himself, Nasser Haroun. He is the architect of shock who actively exploits marginalized lives.
And that leads us perfectly into part four, the shock industry, or shadow literature.
When you look at how this organization operates, their goal is shockingly clear. These ghostwriters are essentially hired to write taboo-breaking, wildly shocking novels, and they publish them under fake foreign names. It creates this exotic aura specifically for European readers, all while leaving the actual writer stuck in the shadows as a mere tool. The entire operation runs exactly like a dark, twisted factory. Step 1. Harvest the raw, real suffering of marginalized people. Step 2. Process all that pain in the Blue Room by mixing it with shocking fiction. Step 3. Package it up nicely under an unknown foreign author's name. And Step 4. Export the final product to markets that are just hungry for exoticism.
This is where the true ethical horror really sets in. Just compare Abraham's real-life agony and marginalization with how the League sensationalized his stolen diary into a cheap, commercial thriller. It forces you to ask, is it ever justifiable to take someone's genuine, heartbreaking suffering and turn it into a ticket for literary success?
Now we reach part 5, the carnival and the fall of identity masks. Let's pick up the pace a bit, because this is where the psychological climax hits. You can see the massive, surreal chaos unfolding here. This is the carnival of Najd al-Dabaghin. The boundaries between reality and fiction completely collapse. You've got characters wearing masks made entirely out of manuscript pages. The creators completely lose themselves inside their own fictions, and the dark secrets of the Blue Room literally spill out into a physical, living nightmare. Amidst all this madness, the philosophy of Fernando Pessoa perfectly captures the core of the crisis. Every individual is in himself multiple. We are a diverse mix. Because at its heart, this story isn't just about secret writers. It is a deep psychological autopsy of human identity. And it shows exactly what happens when we hide behind masks just to escape our reality. Finally, we arrive at part 6. Are we living a literary illusion? Let's emerge from the underworld for our final takeaway. This image of a dark, blood-stained notebook really says it all. Writing has essentially become a crime of survival. Sofiane Rajab managed to take a real street in Tunisia and turn it into a global psychological maze, forcing all of us to question the true price of success and the terrifying loss of our own identities. So, I want to leave you with a thought that really lingers. In a crazy world that constantly demands shocks, and consumes the pain of others as thrilling entertainment? Is truth the only lie that no one believes anymore? Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and remember, there is always a truth hiding behind every mask.